O-level ICT programming, right? So let's see what's programming. So first you have analyzing a problem. So we'll see what is this analyzing a problem, right? Okay. So the raw materials that are used to solve a problem are known as the input. The results obtained after solving a problem is known as the output. So any result you obtain after solving a problem is there, no guys. That is, we call that as output. And converting input to output is called the process. So converting the input to output is called the process. Let me say an example like this. We say 2 comma 4, two numbers. So these numbers, two numbers are going to be the input. And I'm going to say add these two numbers. So add these two numbers. So we are going to add both of these numbers. So adding is a process. So we are going to find the sum. So the problem is what? The problem is finding the sum of these two numbers. So that's the problem. So the input is 2 comma 4 and the process is we are going to add these two numbers. So as a result, the output what we will get, that is output we will get is 6. Right. So process take place step by step. Now here in my process I have only one step, but in some processes, in many processes we have many steps. Okay, it is very important to understand the order of the process. Yeah, so when analyzing a problem, the input, process and output are identified separately. So my dear, when you are analyzing a problem, it is very important for you to identify the input, process and output separately. Always keep in your mind, it is very important to identify the input, process and output separately. In this scenario, 2 comma 4 is going to be the input, this addition is the process and output is 6. So it is very important to identify them separately. Right, moving forward. So there is a problem, example problem, preparing a letter which can be posted. So you're going to prepare a letter to be posted. So what could be the input, guys? So a sheet of paper suitable to write the letter on and a pen. So input, then an envelope and a stamp and a glue. So these are going to be the inputs. Then if we see the process, writing the letter. So first you need to write the letter, then folding the letter and putting it into the envelope, then pasting the envelope, writing the recipient's address on the envelope, then sticking the stamp. Right. So then you can see the output as a letter ready to be posted. So here the input, process and output are identified separately. It's very clear for you, I hope so. And there is a note here, step number 4 and 5 in this process can be interchanged. Yes, of course. You can stick the stamp and after that you can write the recipient's address on the envelope, right? So step number 4 and 5 in this process can be interchanged. However, the order steps should be followed in the order indicated, right? Sorry, however, the other steps should be followed in the order indicated. Yeah, of course. Now, if you take the 2 and 3, you can't paste the envelope. After pasting the envelope, can you fold the letter and put it into the envelope? Can't, right? So that's what they are saying. However, the other steps should be followed in the order indicated. So that's not they are mentioning here, right? So you should, from this, you need to learn that some steps can be interchanged, but some steps cannot be interchanged, right? Got it? Then moving forward, problem 2, making a cup of tea. So input, tea leaves, okay, tea leaves, then sugar, hot water. I hope that some of you know to make a cup of tea, right? So tea leaves, sugar, hot water, then process putting tea leaves in the strainer, pouring hot water to the cup through the strainer, adding some sugar to the cup, stirring it well with a spoon, tasting for taste, taking a small sip from the cup. If the taste is not satisfactory, go to step 3 and repeat step number 4 and 5. So if it's not, if the taste is not satisfactory, go to step 3. So what is the step 3? Adding some sugar to the cup, right? Then you can repeat step number 4 and 5, stirring it well with a spoon, tasting for taste, taking a small sip from the cup, right? So sometimes the taste may be not satisfactory due to low amount of sugar. So you can add some sugar by going to the step number 3 and repeat 4 and 5 as well, right? Then, so that's the process. Then output is a cup of tea. So here also it's very important when you are solving a problem, when you're analyzing a problem, it's very important to you to identify the input process and output separately, right? Okay, fine. Then problem 3, dividing 40 pages and 80-page books from a parcel of books between two siblings, Sandhuni and Anupama. So input is going to be the parcel of books. So process number 1, opening the book parcel, taking a book out from the parcel. If it is a 40-page book, giving it to Sandhuni. If it is an 80-page book, giving it to Anupama. Go to step number 2 till all the books are taken out of the parcel. So there are not only two books, no? So there are 40 pages and 80 pages books from a parcel of books, right? So therefore, until the books are finished, you need to go to the step number 2, taking a book out from the parcel. And if it is 40 page, give it to Sandhuni, and if it is 80 page, giving it to Anupama. So until all the books are taken out of the parcel, you need to go to step number 2 and repeat the below steps, right? Then output is Sandhuni getting 40-page books, then Anupama getting 80-page books, right? Moving forward. So adding two numbers, this is what I told you at the beginning itself when I started the session, right? So input are going to be two numbers, process adding the two numbers, then output total, right? Next problem of 5, finding the area of rectangle. So input length and width of the rectangle, length and width of the rectangle, process area equal length into width, then output you will be getting area, as simple it is. And all the problems you can see that all the input, process and output are identified separately, right? Then problem number 6, my dear, finding the largest number between two numbers. So input two numbers, comparing the two numbers, finding the larger one. So output larger number, right? Suppose we are finding the smaller number between two numbers, comparing the two numbers, finding the smaller one in that scenario, then output will be the smaller number. Very simple. Then problem number 7, finding whether a number is odd or even. So you can input the number, then dividing the number by 2, deciding that the number is even if the remainder is 0. Yeah. Deciding that the number is odd if the remainder is 1 is equal to 1. Then output will be indicating whether the number is odd or even. Right. Indicating the number whether whether the number is odd or even. Right. Right. So that's all the things that we need to study in today's session. Right. Done. Thank you.